Are we good? We're good. I'm going to adjust that for a second. We have a tall crowd here for you today. Good morning, everyone. I'm Will Bauma, MPP for Brantford Brant, and to the dignitaries that are here, business partners, Your Worship, Mayor of Brantford Kevin Davis, Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, the Honourable Vic Fedeli, and the CEO of Invest Ontario, Trevor Dauphney, and our Premier, of course, the Honourable Doug Ford, I would like to welcome everybody to this important announcement for the entire province. Brantford Brant has been a manufacturing powerhouse for over 170 years. It is great to be part of a government that will see this proud tradition to continue and to expand. Our proximity to both the Greater Toronto-Hamilton areas and to the United States border, coupled with some of the best workers, Brantford Brant has a very desirable business environment and a robust manufacturing sector. So, without further delay, I would like to introduce Brantford's Mayor, Kevin Davis, a great partner and mayor who likes to get things done. Kevin Davis, Your Worship.
Yes, a very exciting occasion. I'm very excited to be able to welcome Premier Ford to our community and to tour this absolutely amazing modern manufacturing facility. And I want to say this to Mitsui Tech and all the employees. I can't tell you how much we appreciate that you're here in Brantford. You're showing the confidence in Brantford and this region by continuing to invest and improve this facility, which produces parts that are absolutely critical for the production of electric motors. Great that it's happening here in Brantford. More to come. And I want to thank all of you very much. And Premier, I want to also thank you and your government for helping to make this expansion possible. Thank you, Mayor.
I'd like to thank the Government of Ontario as well as the Invest Ontario team for this visit today. To all of those who have come, welcome to Mitsui High-Tech Canada. Since the start of our production in our Canadian facility, we have had continued support from our municipal, provincial, and federal bodies. And we are looking forward to continue those relationships as we grow. In April of this year, we held our ribbon-cutting ceremony for plant we are standing in. And now we are breaking ground on our third plant at this facility. February 2024 will mark for the launch of our third and fourth project, and in early 2025, we will launch our fifth and sixth projects. With this next phase of expansion, we will be producing 5 times the amount of motor core we are currently manufacturing, all of which are being exported into the USA. We are excited to be a part of the Canadian supply chain for the EV industry and looking forward to continue to support this growth as industry continues to expand. Premier Ford, we are honored to have you and your team here today and looking forward to continue to work together with Government of Ontario to build the EV supply chain in Canada. Thank you. I'm pleased to now welcome Minister Fedeli to the podium.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today alongside Premier Ford, my colleague, MPP Will Bauma, Mayor Kevin Davis, to celebrate a major milestone for Mitsui High-Tech Canada and our growing auto and advanced manufacturing sectors. Thank you, Harada-san, and everyone at Mitsui High-Tech Canada for continuing to place your trust in Ontario and everything our province has to offer. Over the last 8 years, Ontario and Mitsui High-Tech Canada have worked to build a strong relationship that has led to several expansions and more good-paying jobs. Mitsui High-Tech Canada was one of the first companies to set up an EV parts manufacturing facility in Ontario. And as we continue to grow our auto sector, the company will play an important role in building a strong EV supply chain. So much of what we have accomplished is thanks to the relationships that we have built. And in this case, the relationship Mitsui High-Tech Canada forged was with Trevor Daphne and his incredible team at Invest Ontario. Invest Ontario is our investment attraction agency. They saw an opportunity to help a company who already had a footprint here in Ontario, help them grow. This is what companies around the world can expect when they come to Ontario. We're there every step of the way to help you succeed and create more opportunities for workers, for businesses, and for communities. Moving forward, Mitsui High-Tech Canada will continue to stand out as an incredible example of auto manufacturing companies that chose Ontario to start and scale up their operations. Thank you again, Hara-san, for choosing Ontario. It's now my pleasure to turn it over to the best salesperson the province will ever find, Premier Ford, to share with you some exciting news for Mitsui High-Tech Canada and for the people in Brantford. Premier.
Well, good morning, everyone, and I'm thrilled to be back here in beautiful city of Brantford alongside Minister Fedeli. And by the way, he's the best salesperson that Ontario has. And of course, MPP Will Boma. And Will, thank you for doing a great job. And I want to welcome Mayor Ken Davis. You know, Mayor, you've done an incredible job not only attracting businesses, creating the climate and the conditions for companies to come here, but you're also hitting your targets, your housing targets, exceeding your housing targets, and thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge, I know Trevor, they mentioned you a few times, but this would not happen without your leadership from Invest Ontario, and a big thank you to Yaz and Kurt. Thank you for your leadership and the entire team at Mitsui High-Tech Canada for having us here today. Before I get started, I just want to take a moment to congratulate you on your tremendous success here in Ontario. From your first investment here in 2015, you've doubled the size in just 8 years, which is truly amazing. You should all be so proud of what you've accomplished here, and I know it starts with these folks right to the left of me, the hardworking women and men that come in every single day, and I want to thank you for not only representing Mitsui, but Ontario as well, and you're shipping down to the USA. What a great story that is. Thank you for your confidence in our province and in our workers. And we're so thrilled to be back here today to celebrate Mitsui High-Tech $102 million investment to open a new 103,000 square foot facility on this site. And I was saying when I walked through, and this is an example of each and every one of you, folks, this place is spotless, and it says everything about the frontline, hardworking women and men, the leadership here. I'll tell you, it's an absolutely incredible facility. This expansion, the company's third major expansion, will increase production of motor cores, strengthening Ontario's electric vehicle supply chain and adding over 100 new, good-paying jobs right here in Brantford. And I'm pleased to announce that our government is supporting Mitsui's growth with $3.1 million investment through Invest Ontario. Friends, here in Ontario, we have a plan to be the world leader in the EV revolution. We're creating the conditions to attract new investments into the sector. We're reducing red tape, keeping taxes low, building a skilled workforce, and making sure Ontario's power supply remains clean, reliable, and cost competitive. We're building an EV and battery supply chain connecting critical minerals in Northern Ontario and clean steel makers in Hamilton and Sault Ste. Marie to automakers and battery manufacturers right across our great province. And my friends, our plan is working. In the past 2.5 years, our province has secured over $25 billion, with a B, $25 billion in new investments for vehicle and battery production. This is another incredible stat if you think of it, and it says everything about the people of Ontario. We now have major investments from 6 of the largest automakers in the world. And we're the only jurisdiction in the world where there's 5 major auto manufacturers building vehicles. And folks, let me put that into context for everyone. This run over the past 18 months of over $25 billion in auto investments from the biggest automakers in the world, it's the greatest streak of investments for any jurisdiction in North America ever. So again, thank you, everyone. It's just an amazing figure, and we're not done yet, because there's lineups of companies coming to Ontario. We have the resources, we have the industry expertise, we have the best universities and colleges, and we have the best workforce in the entire world right here in Ontario. Working together with great partners, with all levels of government, with great companies like Mitsui, we're revitalizing our auto sector and making Ontario an auto manufacturing powerhouse once again. Thank you to Mitsui for hosting us today. Thank you to everyone for joining us, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now take questions. Just a reminder, it's one question, one follow-up.
Hi.
Hi, Premier Chris Thompson with CTV Kitchener.
Hi, Chris.
I was just wondering if you had any comments on the recent stabbing incident at the University of Waterloo yesterday.
Yeah, first of all, I want to make sure the victims are all right, and thank God no one was murdered. But that's unacceptable. You know, what I understand, this person was out on bail, if I wasn't mistaken. We'll see what happens. Matter of fact, let me correct that. I'm gonna dig into that first. Find out.
Have you or your team at the province reached out to University of Waterloo or anyone in the area and offered any support or any kind of resources?
Not yet, but we will be today. We just want to make sure we don't interfere with the investigation. That's absolutely critical. We let the police do the investigation, and we'll be briefed through the police.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Adam from CHCH. First of all, I have to agree with you. This is a beautiful facility. It's spotless. You can eat off the floor. But I have to ask you about Hamilton and subsidized housing. There's a lot of people living in tents in the city right now because they can't find affordable housing, subsidized housing. The list is too long.
Yeah.
What is your government doing to help cities create subsidized housing?
Well, thanks for the question. I got a couple things. We're giving the city of Hamilton $27 million. Even if you did units, a building, 100,000 a unit, that takes over 200 people out of the parks per se, gives them housing. So I encourage Hamilton to invest that $27 million. The other thing is, if people are physically and mentally able to work, there's lots of jobs here in Hamilton, lots of jobs here in Brantford. I really encourage them to go out and get the training and be able to help them up. Some people get down on their luck, and it's tough, I get it. But there's endless amounts of jobs. There's over 380,000 jobs available here in Ontario, a lot here in Brantford, a lot in Hamilton. So once we get these people housed, then we can get them back on their feet and find gainful employment, and then they'll be able to stand on their own.
Is there any new money to get those homes built?
Again, we're putting $27 million. There is new money that within that $27 million, I just don't have that figure. But $27 million, if you build a complex at $100,000 a unit, you're going to be able to house 270 people. That's 270 people having housing, and that's quite a bit of housing. But I encourage them, if they're capable, to go, once they get in the housing, to find gainful employment. Because, these hardworking folks, right to the left of me, are coming in, working their backs off. Their hard-earned tax dollars are going to people that need support. And if you're capable and you're physically capable, mentally capable of working, folks, you should be working. Simple as that. Because it's not up to these hardworking people to take care of capable people that should be working that aren't working. There's no more excuses.
Hi, Robert Kabinga, Rogers TV, Grand River.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if there was any update you could give. We've all heard about the dissolving of the region of Peel. What is the future of the region of Waterloo?
Well, we're going to have a facilitator sit down and talk to the mayors, talk to communities, see where we go. I know some people want the region to turn into a city. Other people, leaders in the community, are saying no. So that's why we're appointing a facilitator to listen to the people and decide what they want.
Now, just to follow up, we know Highway 7 is a large connector between the region of Waterloo and Guelph Wellington. Is there any update on the expansion of that highway?
Yeah, we're going to make sure that gets done. There's some early works happening. They're prepping to get the bridge built as well. But as sure as I'm standing here, there'll be shovels in the ground. And as soon as we get more updates, we'll give you a call. You know, other governments talked about it for years, if not decades. We're a government that gets things done. As simple as that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this will be the last question.
Hello, Premier.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, I might throw in one or two extra for my gallery friends who couldn't make it today.
I know. Well, you know something, you
They
should all
gotta
hop
drive.
one car.
Exactly. So my first question is actually about the government's decision yesterday to reject calling domestic violence or intimate partner violence an epidemic. This was a recommendation from a coroner's inquest into the death of 3 women by the same ex-partner, and advocates and survivors say that this is an important label to call this an epidemic to show how serious it is to Canadians. This was rejected in a letter by deputy ministers. I'm wondering what you make of the decision and if you're willing to revisit it at all.
Well, what we are doing, we're taking 22 of the recommendations and we're going to move forward on it. And I got my signals crossed on the last one about the person out on bail. This guy was out on bail. He should have been sitting in jail, and the justice system failed once again, letting people out that have a serious violent criminal background. They give him a little slap on the wrist, they put him out there, and what happens? He goes out and kills 3 innocent women. Unacceptable. These guys should be locked in jail and the key should be thrown away. There's one person in this room thinks that a violent criminal that goes around, breaks the law, physically hurts people, should be let out. And what does he do? He goes murders 3 innocent people. The justice system needs to change. We need to make sure that these people don't get out on bail and get a little slap on the wrist to go out and repeat a violent act. It's unacceptable. The feds, they have to change the justice system. They're the ones that write the criminal code. It's unacceptable. Enough being weak on criminals that terrorize communities, throw them in jail, throw the key away. I'll build the jails myself for these people.
Thank you. And on Prime Minister Trudeau's comments yesterday saying essentially provinces need to step up and help cities pay off their budget shortfall. Toronto's facing $1.5 billion. You've hesitated to do more this year. He's hesitating, but you don't want Mayor-elect Olivia Chow to raise taxes. So what's Toronto supposed to do in this circumstance?
Well, I find it ironic coming from the Prime Minister when we put up the $225 million and the feds haven't put up anything. I find that pretty rich. So we're putting money up. As a matter of fact, we put $3.3 billion to the City of Toronto. What I recommend the City of Toronto, that I spent years down there, giving a 0% tax increase, finding $1 billion of savings, we'll be there to support them, which we have, and we gave them an additional $225 million. You have to get your fiscal house in order. You can't be spending taxpayers' money willy-nilly. You need to get it in order. We did it. I did it. They can do it. There has to be a will.
Okay, thanks everyone.
By-elections. Can you
Okay.
comment on the by-election, sir?
Thank you.
Why are you worried about losing any seats? Why candidate didn't do as well as Scarborough?
Well, we have a phenomenal candidate, Gary Crawford and Sean Webster, Canada, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to win those by-elections. Simple as that. But we're going to go full steam ahead because the people of Ontario can see the positive changes. Let me remind everyone, and thank you for that question. Before we took office, 300,000 jobs were chased out of this province from the previous government. As we stand today, there's 650,000 more people working today than there was 5 years ago. There's 380,000 jobs. We're leading economic growth in North America, any jurisdiction. We're seeing growth, a record growth of 504,000 people moving into Ontario. There's no jurisdiction anywhere in North America that is growing faster than we are. The reason they're coming here is the quality of life. There's no better place in the world to raise a family, to start a business, to find a job, to buy a home, than right here in Ontario. That's why we've set a new Canadian record, North American record, 504,000 people in 1 year. I need more people coming here to fill the 380,000 jobs because of the great people of Ontario. Our economy is moving forward in the right direction. I want to thank you. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.